Hi, my name is Kavya. Today we are going to discuss about Spring and Spring Boot framework. Spring and Spring Boot framework are nothing but frameworks. In these frameworks, some ready-made code will be available, which is great to create code. So this is nothing but framework can be worked this way. This framework can simplify the code and can give this some ready-made code. In this framework, some terminologies we are using to building this framework. So some basic terminologies we have used to build this framework. Now I'm sharing my screen. Hmm. First, this is some basic terminologies. First one is standalone application. Second one is web application. Web application. Third one is SOA, Service Oriented Architecture Application. SOA, Service Oriented. Fourth one is Microservices Application. And fifth one is Web Services Application. Sorry. First, we have to discuss about standalone application. Standalone application is a software program that operates independently on a user device without pairing additional softwares, servers, or dependencies. Typically, does not need an internet connection or integration with other systems to function. Standalone applications are designed to perform specific tasks are provided functionally within a self-contained environment. Key characteristics of standalone applications. There are four key characteristics of a standalone application is one is independence, second one is local execution, third one is no service dependencies. Fourth one is self-contained. First, independence. Independence. It does not rely on external systems or applications to work. All the necessary components are bonded within the application. Second one is local execution. The application runs directly on the user's devices, such as a computer or mobile device. Third one is no service dependency. Unlike web application, standalone application don't need continuous server interaction to perform their functions. Although some may have optional features like updates or cloud syncing. Fourth one is self-contained. All resources, libraries, and files necessary for the application to run are the typically included within the installation package. Example of standalone application include desktop software like Microsoft Word, media players, and image editing tools. This can run entirely on their own without needing to connect to the internet or rely on the external service. Second one, second terminology is web application. This web application can require internet and database and mm, internet services and database we have used, and this web application can divided into two main application. One is monolithic application, second one is distributed application. Here we are discussing about the web application. A web application is a software application that runs on a web services and is accessed through a web browser over the internet or an internet. Unlike standalone application which runs locally on a user's device, web applications are hosted remotely and requires a network connection to function. Key characteristics of a web application is five types. One is accessibility, second one is no installation required, third one is centralized updates, fourth one is backend and front end, fifth one is cross platform compatibility. These five are key characteristics of web application. We have discussed about these five characteristics. One is accessibility is it can be accessed from any device with a web browser. Example laptops, tablets, smartphones, and an internet connection. Second one is no installation required. Users don't need to install the application on their device. They can simply use it through a browser, making updates and maintenance easier for developers. Third one is centralized updates. Since the app is hosted on a server, updates are done centrally, ensuring that all users always have access to the latest version without needing manual installation. Fourth one is backend and front end. Web applications are typically consist of two main parts: the front end that runs in browser and the back end that processes the business logic and handles data storage. Fifth one is cross platform compatibility. They are generally compatible across different platforms as long as the device has a modern web browser. Example of the web application. These five are key characteristics of the web application. Finally, example of web applications include email services like Gmail, social media platforms like Facebook, online banking systems, and productivity tools like Google Docs. These are the examples of the web application. This is the web application characteristics. And web application have two different types of application. These are monolithic and distributed application. Here we are discussing, firstly we are discussing is monolithic application. Monolithic application is a software architecture where the entire application is built as a single unified unit. In this approach, all components of the application, example, user interface, business logic, data access, are tightly integrated and run as one large program or service. Characteristics of the monolithic application. Characteristics of the monolithic application or here monolithic application characteristics mainly we have seen five types. One is single code base. First one is single code base. Single code base. Second one is, second one is unified deployment. Unified deployment. Deployment. And third one is shared memory and resources. Shared memory and resources. And fourth one is tight coupling. Fifth one is less complexity. Complexity. These are the key characteristics of the monolithic application. Here we are discussing about these five characteristics of the monolithic application. First one is single code base. Single code base, all the functionality is contained within a single code base, which means that the different parts of the application are tightly coupled. Second one is unified deployment. Since everything is a part of one application, it is deployed and scaled as a whole, making it easier to manage in simpler use cases. Third one is shared memory and resources. Different parts of the application directly share memory and resources, making communication between components fast and efficient. Fourth one is tight coupling. Changes to one part of the application can affect other parts, meaning updates or modifications might require rebuilding and redeploying the entire system. Fifth one is less complexity. For smaller applications, monolithic design is simpler to implement and manage. These five characteristics we are discussing this. However, the monolithic application can become challenging to maintain and scale as they grow in size and complexity. In contrast, modern software deployment increasingly favors microservices architecture, where the application is broken down to smaller, independent services that can be deployed and scaled independently. An example of monolithic application is traditional desktop software or early version of enterprise system. Next, we are discussing the distributed application. This distributed application have same five key characteristics. Distributed application or one is multiple components and second one is decentralized. Third one is fault tolerance. Fourth one is scalability. Fifth one is concurrency. Yeah, we are discussing these five characteristics of the distributed system. First of all, distributed application is a software system that operates across multiple computers or servers which are connected over a network instead of running as a single monolithic unit. The application is divided into several smaller components or services that communicate and work together to perform a larger function. Here we are discussing these characteristics. First one is multiple component. First one is multiple components. The application is split into different services or modules which may run on separate machines, often located in different geographical locations. Second one is decentralized. Second one is decentralized. These components do not rely on a central server to function, but communicate with each other directly over the network, allowing for better scalability and flexibility. Third one is fault tolerance. Distributed applications can continue to function even if one or more components fail because redundancy and load balancing machines are typical in place. Fourth one is Scalability. They can easily scale by adding more nodes or servers to handle increased load as the workload is distributed across multiple systems. Fifth one is concurrency. Multiple parts of the application can run simultaneously on different machines, improving performance and responsiveness. These five are the key characteristics of the distributed application. Example of the distributed application include cloud-based services like Google Cloud or Amazon Web Services or online multiplayer games, microservice based systems, and content delivery networks CDNS. These applications are designed to handle large scale tasks and provide high scalability and performance and resilience. This is the distributed application. Finally, we are discussing about SOA. SOA means service oriented architecture. Service oriented architecture is an architecture pattern in which software components called services are designed to provide specific business functions and communicate with each other over a network. These services are independent, reusable, and loosely coupled, meaning they can be developed, deployed, and maintained separately. So we are discussing the key character key characteristics of the sorry key characteristics of the SOA are one is modularity, reality, and second one is sorry చెప్పు. ఆ, టైం తెలియదు నాకు, నేను పాస్ చేసుకుంటా అవి చూసుకుంటా మరి చెప్పాలి. We'll try. Use coupling. Use coupling. Third one is interoperability. Interoperability. And fourth one is discoverability. We are discussing these five characteristics of these five characteristics of the SOS. Modulability. Modulability in such SOA, each service is a self-contained unit that performs a specific task, such as